There has been a lot of talk about it, but now it looks like there is a solid deal to move UConn's West Hartford campus to downtown Hartford.
The University of Connecticut is on the move. Ground was broken today.
It is returning home to downtown Hartford, where it began many years ago and where I think it belongs.
Governor Malloy and UConn President Susan Herbst say the urban campus will become an economic driver for the capital city.
The project is on time, on budget, is going to be gorgeous. Moving our campus to downtown, I think, is one of the very best things that we'll do in our time.
The new campus is said to be big, hold about 2,200 students and 300 faculty.
I think we picked an amazing location. We already have the Wadsworth Atheneum, one of the best cultural institutions in the world.
The Hartford Public Library has a profoundly important educational mission here in Hartford, and to have it now become an extension of the quality of the University of Connecticut is really exciting.
This space in through here will lead to the courtyard, and that's the separation from the campus to the general public.
Good morning. Thank you for coming. Welcome to the University of Connecticut's new downtown Hartford campus. This is a historic occasion. Today, UConn has come home to Hartford. It's fitting that our new campus is here in this neighborhood, at this site where another great institution once stood, and where its facade remains, the Hartford Times newspaper. Nearly a century ago, the Times opened its doors here, and it was a vital part of the community. In an era before television, citizens of Hartford passing this building could read the latest headlines, critical headlines, posted on boards along this railing. On election night, returns would be flashed onto a massive screen, a white screen set up in front of the columns behind me. For many years, and maybe some of you remember this, each December, this facade would glow. Decked out with Christmas lights, thousands of people would gather here to sing Christmas carols and welcome the season. And thousands of residents of the city and state gathered here to hear addresses from 4 American presidents who stood in this very place and whose names are memorialized on these columns and in American history: Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, and Johnson. In fact, this was one of then Senator Kennedy's last stops the day before the election of 1960. He addressed a crowd of thousands just where you're standing. After the Times ceased publication more than 4 decades ago, the building was closed, partially, sporadically used until its doors were actually closed for good. And for many years, this magnificent edifice at the center of our capital city sat abandoned, crumbling, and dark. Today, there's a bright new light here in downtown Hartford as another great Connecticut institution rises up in its place and opens its doors from decay to new life. On the walls on either side of this portico, there are 5 words written, dating to the opening of the Times building in 1920. They are insight, inspiration, delight, and pride. They will remain there because they perfectly captured what this beautiful new campus will be now for our students, for our faculty, our staff, for the city and the state. UConn Hartford is not only brick, mortar, and steel, it's a living, breathing institution at the core of this city. It'll be part of the backbone of Hartford, a place for learning, engagement, discovery, a vibrant part of this neighborhood and the capital city as a whole. The campus is interwoven with our neighborhood. We have committed partners in the Hartford Public Library, the Wadsworth, Spotlight Theaters, the Science Center, the Convention Center, among others. We've opened a new Barnes & Noble bookstore and Starbucks coffee shop right across the street. The only major bookstore in the city. We're surrounded by culture, educational resources, dining, housing, employers, and above all, opportunity. Our faculty and staff will work here and our students will learn here, and together they'll bring great energy to downtown Hartford. We owe so many people thanks for making this a reality, too many people to list, but chief among them is Governor Daniel Malloy, whose vision and determination played a key role in leading us to this proud day. UConn and Connecticut higher education could not have a better champion. We owe a great deal to the Connecticut General Assembly. Many legislators are here with us today on the platform. I'd like to recognize all of those who will not be making remarks. There is Senator John Fonfara, whose district we're in, Senator Art Linares, Doug McCrory, Representatives Joshua Hall, Tim Leggett, Bill Pettit, Jason Rojas, Kevin Ryan, and Edwin Vargas. Thank you so much. Many thanks to the UConn Board of Trustees, especially our chairman, Larry McHugh, and trustees Tom Ritter and Andrea Dennis-Levine, the latter two who are Hartford advocates born and raised right here. Then, of course, there are the hundreds of people who designed and built this new campus, the UConn staff who shepherded the project through from start to end, Laura Cruikshank, our chief architect, Robert Corbett, project director, Sally Bodette, Jim Libby, and Carrie Petriatino, our project managers. Robert A.M. Stern Architects provided an exceptional design team. They are the masterminds of this beautiful project. H.B. Nitkin is our development partner, and Whiting Turner oversaw day-to-day construction. And to the numerous contractors and subcontractors and every trade worker who labored on this building for the last 2 years, Thank you so much, and thank you for preventing me from taking a big tumble down these stairs many times I visited. You do an amazing job. We are grateful, of course, to our partners in CRDA and OPM who made this day possible. This is one of the greatest, most historic days in the 136-year history of the University of Connecticut, and an exceptionally proud moment for this city and this state. I'm delighted to introduce the driving force behind it, Governor Dannel Malloy.
Good morning, everyone. I was hoping you would show up. After all, this is a great day for Connecticut, a great day for the University of Connecticut, and a particularly great day, I think, for the city of Hartford. So thank you for being with us to celebrate this day. You know, I think it is true of Connecticut that we have not always cared for our cities. There is a reality about modern-day America that for much of the last 50 or 60 years, we tended to turn our back on our urban areas. We would see taxes rise and schools decline and crime go up, and we would ignore that fact, and we would just assume that someday it will turn itself around. We did that in Connecticut even at a time that other states learned from their mistakes and began reinvesting in themselves, in their transportation systems, in their criminal justice systems, in their housing supply. And yet here in Connecticut, we were slow to do those things. But those days are over. We understand that when our cities thrive, our state will thrive again. When we are attractive places to live and work, then we will be successful. And what we've seen transpire in the last few years in Hartford, with the addition of thousands of units of housing and 1,000 more units to come, and the addition of other important developments that have taken place in the last few years, and now on this day, to see this happen, this long-awaited dream that the University of Connecticut would return to downtown Hartford, that this would be one of the bases of our great university. This is what we celebrate today. It is, in essence, a rebirth and a new birth in one. The possibilities that education present to this city and to this state, and the opportunities that we will see young people have that they would not otherwise have in some other place. Connecticut needs to continue to invest in its young people. We need to make sure that we have the human capacity to support the corporations who are currently here and those that will be developed here or move here. That, too, is what we celebrate today. We have a long way to go and a lot of work to be gotten done over the next 10 and 20 and 30 years as we reinvest in our home state. But no date shines brighter than this one today, for what we've done, for the investment we've made, for the down payment we have, and for the future we will all celebrate. Have a great day, and God bless you all.
I'm pleased to introduce two of our students who will be attending classes here on this campus beginning Monday. Please join me in welcoming Caitlin Savinelli from Cromwell, Connecticut, and Stephanie Luzak from New Britain.
As student body president, I speak on behalf of many students in sharing the excitement of the brand new campus. This change in environment and location of the UConn Hartford campus has opened up many more opportunities for our staff and students. It offers a new generation a chance to explore the city and all it has to offer. After being an orientation leader this summer, I have witnessed firsthand the warm welcome that many businesses in the area have given us. I am looking forward to continue these partnerships. There has been a lot of positive changes to the city of Hartford, and I'm excited to have UConn be a part of it. It's great to have UConn as a presence in Hartford once again. Hartford has it, and now Hartford has the Huskies too.
Greetings, everyone, President Herbst and Governor Malloy. My name is Stephanie Luzak, and I'm entering my second year as a master's student at the UConn School of Social Work, and I also serve as the executive co-chair for our school's graduate student organization. On behalf of the School of Social Work, I'm excited about what the downtown Hartford campus means for our community. Relocating to downtown Hartford not only immerses us into a city rich with culture and diversity, but unfortunately, to a place where many residents fall victim to various systems and structures that perpetuate social injustice. Social work, at its core, is the profession of improving the well-being of all humans, especially those who experience oppression. I envision a long-lasting partnership between the UConn School of Social Work and the city as we join this special community here in Hartford. It is my hope that this new location can create pathways for social work students to increase awareness around social justice, as well as strengthen the ways we can help to empower those who are marginalized. In an era that has been greeted by an onslaught of racism, violence, and hate, it is through our values as social workers that we can make a difference within our local community. Thank you.
Terrific. I am so proud to be from Connecticut and have two great U.S. senators, and they are both here today. First, I'm honored to welcome Connecticut's senior United States Senator Richard Blumenthal.
How proud we all are to be here today in this historic place on this historic day that all of us will remember. This great educational center of learning will bring new light and life to Hartford. But let's not forget, there's already a lot of light and life in Hartford. It is a great city. It is our capital city, and it is one of the great cities in the United States of America. And many will come here and learn, not only in this place, but in the museum across the street, in the library, and yes, in the courthouse right down the block. Today is about values. And the decision to open a new center of learning and education is about the value of truth, uncovering the truth, which was the great mission of the Hartford Times and remains the central mission of our journalists and newspapers and media, and their adherence to that value is an American mission and value, and this historic place will always remind us of it. We're here about the value of truth when uncovered by research and learning and the dissemination of truth. And that value has never been more important than in these challenging and troubled times. And this great educational center will be a reminder of it, not only to the wonderful students and faculty who will work here, but to all of us who come to Hartford every day and see these pillars as pillars of learning and truth that must guide us always, even in the troubled seas that we see right now. And finally, let me just say that I am proud to be here with people who are dedicated to those values. The UConn board, its faculty, its staff, have persevered through tough times, have been supported by a great legislature and governor, and I'm proud to be part of that community today. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support and your adherence to this great mission and those values. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Senator. Now we're thrilled to welcome UConn Law graduate and U.S. Senator Christopher Murphy.
Well, thank you very much, Madam President. What a morning. I am so proud of all of the people, from the governor to the board to all of the downtown community, the mayor included, who made this day possible. It's true, I certainly consider myself a member of the extended UConn and UConn Graduate School family. My wife and I, between the two of us, have 3 UConn graduate degrees. I have 1, she has 2. But we know the greatness that can come. We've seen it all throughout our travels throughout the state, from the good works of people who have attended these schools. And I just want to thank all the folks who made the decision to do the hard work to site this campus right here. You know, back when the Christmas lights adorned this building and thousands of people gathered on this square and on this street, the majority of Connecticut residents, they lived in our cities, they worked in our cities. And then we went through a period of decades in which people started to migrate out of our cities. We built up our suburbs, and now we are at the beginning of a new era, not just here in Connecticut, but across the country, a re-urbanization of this nation in which people once again see the value of living right next to their fellow man and woman, the value of living close to the place where they work. Hartford is enjoying this amazing renaissance, not just because of that trend line, but also because of really tough decisions that were made by people like Governor Malloy to be at the front end of that trend. It would have been a lot easier to build this campus outside of the downtown. It would have been easier to knock down this beautiful building behind us and begin with a clean piece of land. But they made this courageous decision to do the tough work in order to capitalize on this trend of people wanting to come back to our urban areas. They decided to do the hard things necessary to preserve a piece of incredible history that I can teach my kids about and someday my grandkids about. And that is a legacy that will last a lifetime. As a member of the UConn family, I am just so proud of all of the people who made the courageous decisions to allow for greatness to spring forth from the classrooms, from the common spaces inside of these walls. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Senator. Please join me in welcoming Congressman John Larson, who proudly represents the city of Hartford and Connecticut's 1st congressional district in the U.S. Congress.
Thank you, President Herbst. What a great honor to be here. It wasn't in Boston, Massachusetts, or in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or Richmond, Virginia, that constitutional democracy was born. It was born right here on the banks of the Connecticut River in Hartford, Connecticut. What a great legacy to continue as we go through this renaissance here in this great state of ours. Without vision, there is no victory. And certainly, President Herbst and the board, the members of the Connecticut General Assembly, and all those who have participated, but most notably, a governor who persistently has had the courage and the vision to invest in this great state of ours and in this great university of ours. It's not only this compound, but what's happening down the streets with the National Park, and ultimately the recapture of this river and opening up this city to commerce. Because without vision, there can be no victory. And on this day, the most important thing to say is, go Huskies!
Now please join me in welcoming your Secretary of State, Denise Merrill.
Thank you. So, what I want to know is, in this audience, are there any UConn grads out there? All right. Me too, and I couldn't be prouder than I am today. This is our building, all of us, and I think the only thing I can say to the generations of people who have envisioned this, and of course a big thank you to Governor Malloy who made it happen. You know, 20 years ago when we were doing UConn 2000, I do have to bring up one person who is no longer with us. His name was Lou Rome. He was the chair of the board of UConn, and I think he was the first one that started talking about bringing UConn to Hartford. At the time, I was the state representative from Storrs, so I thought that was a little over the top to bring the whole university to Hartford, but he is the one that had the initial vision of bringing West Hartford's campus back to Hartford, and in his memory, I would give him a little tip of the hat and just say thank you, thank you, thank you to the hundreds, probably thousands of people that actually made this happen today. Thanks so much.
Please join me in welcoming Senate Majority Leader Bob Duff.
Thank you. Good morning, Hartford. Good morning, UConn. What a great day to be out here today. On a day just like this, almost 3 years ago, we actually broke ground for this construction project. It is so great to be here again to see this final product and really this wonderful campus in downtown Hartford. UConn is doing some great things all around the state of Connecticut. Last week we had the opportunity to cut the ribbon for the new dorms in Stamford, or we call them residence halls now. And today we open the new campus in Hartford. So UConn continues to be our flagship university and do great things for us here in the state of Connecticut, and we so appreciate everything that everyone has done here. And if you speak to demographers or anybody who talks about the futures of our states or our cities, you invest in higher education. That is the place to put your dollars. So I want to thank my colleagues in the legislature for all the work that they've done, and of course Governor Malloy for his vision, and President Herbst and all the UConn faculty and staff and Board of Trustees, Larry, for what they've done as well. So thank you so much. This is a great day. Let's celebrate. And Congressman Larson, go Huskies!
Now please join me in welcoming Senator Kevin Whitgos, who is Deputy Senate Republican President Pro Tem and a great supporter of this university.
Thank you, Madam President. UConn! Here we go. Pride in our university, pride in our capital city, and pride in our state. Today begins a new chapter in the university's history. So proud we could be here today. As President Thomas Jefferson once said, education is the currency of democracy. So I hope all those that enter the walls of this great building behind me become so enriched in their lives for the relationships that they make, their contributions to society, and their contribution to this great state of Connecticut. And I say to the board members, the faculty, the staff, and most importantly, the students, welcome to your new home. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Please join me in welcoming House Majority Leader Matt Ritter.
Good afternoon, or good morning, everybody. And it is a great day. I'll do two quick comments because we're on a 45-second shot clock up here. Number one, it's not just the UConn campus being downtown that the governor and the state has done in the last 8 years. It's the entire downtown region through CERTA, the Capital Region Development Authority, and I'd like to give all those board members and Michael Freemuth a round of applause as well. The governor said when he came in, he said, I will take care of downtown Hartford, and have you ever done that? I'd also say that Connecticut, UConn, is a great unifier of our state. Every winter when the basketball goes up on a cold January night, or you go to a football game, or you come here and you look at this crowd, you realize the brand name that UConn is. And so in divisive times, or when sometimes we're not sure as a state where we're going, we're looking for people to come together, UConn does that better than anybody, and it's going to be a great thing for Hartford and for all of the people in the state of Connecticut who send their kids here for the next couple of years. Thank you.
Please join me in welcoming Representative Angel Arce, whose district we're in today.
I'm kind of tall. Can I move this? There you go. Thank you, Governor, for this great work, and everyone that was involved. President Herbst, thank you for choosing Hartford for this new UConn campus. To my legislative colleagues, welcome to the 4th District. I hope you enjoy your stay. But this is it's an honor, and it's very exciting to see downtown moving in the direction that it is. As a kid growing up in this city, I remember downtown UConn hardly was because it was always full of people, a lot of retailing, a lot of activity going on. And this is the beginning of seeing a downtown from the time I'm growing up. And this is just the beginning of something new happening downtown, and I truly believe that many new things will come to our city, and Hartford will grow again and become the city that once was. With that, I also would like to say thank you. I will stay here and say thank you to our mayor for all the help, and the board of trustees as well. Thank you. But I also would like to say thank you to our former mayor, Pedro Segarra, who, when this project started, he was up front, and he gave up this beautiful building. So thank you, Pedro, for giving up this building for this to become UConn. Once again, I'm very honored, I'm very proud, and thank you to everyone that was involved.
Please join me in welcoming Senator Beth Bayh. She is co-chair of the Higher Education and Employment Advancement Committee. She is a wonderful friend, supporter of UConn, Bioscience Connecticut, NestGen Connecticut. You're with us all the way. Thank you, Beth.
Hi, everybody. What a day, huh? This is awesome. I'm so happy to be here today. I want to congratulate President Herbst and the UConn board for this incredible effort. I know when you just came on board, Governor Malloy talked to you about a vision for UConn just as you landed, and Governor Malloy, for your leadership. This is so wonderful for the city of Hartford. So many great advocates here today. I want to take my moments and welcome Mark Overmeyer Velasquez to his position as a director of the UConn campus. Mark is a colleague from the West Hartford Board of Education, and I think a wonderful example of what a higher ed institution brings to its community, right? It brings faculty who work with students like Mark, who then become leaders, but they also give back to their communities, like our great mayor, Sherry Cantor, as well, a UConn grad and board member. So it's an important day for democracy in Connecticut today, because schools and colleges help build up freedom from inside of our students with the education. They're places where the community has discourse, places for the arts and humanities. How about having the Wadsworth Athenaeum right across the street from a university? Unbelievable. And Cecil Adams, I know, is here today. Connecticut's investment in higher education are investments in our communities, in our economy, and in building a strong, educated citizenry. And boy, don't we need that today, right, people? You with me on that? We need a strong, educated citizenry. I want to close by asking any UConn teachers or faculty or staff who work with students to raise their hands, because you are incredible public servants. You will be working in community with students, expanding their thinking, helping them try on different perspectives. You're dedicating your career to the public service of inspiring new thinking and building up our democracy one student at a time. So thank you to the faculty and staff. Thank you, President Herbst.
Please join me in welcoming Representative Greg Haddad. He's our hometown representative in Mansfield. He's co-chair of Higher Education and Employment Advancement Committee. Hi, Greg.
I'm so pleased to be here in Hartford today because of this historic investment in this city. I know firsthand as a state representative from Storrs what the value is of a university in a community, the vibrancy that it brings by having so many young people and faculty members participate in the economy. It's really very important, and it'll be very helpful here as Hartford becomes an even greater city. I also would like to say, though, in addition to investing in bricks and mortar here in Hartford, we are investing in students. These students who you see here in the band and out in the audience, and the two young students who spoke to us earlier, tremendous leaders for our future, the future of our economy. And as we remember that we're making this investment in bricks and mortar, we need to also remember that as we make decisions in Hartford, we need to invest in faculty and staff to make sure that the opportunities that are available for students now and into the future. Thank you so much.
Now please join me in welcoming the Mayor of the City of Hartford, Luke Bronin.
Representative Arce, I'm moving that box back. Good morning, everybody. Governor Malloy, President Herbst, to the Board of Trustees of UConn, to everybody who worked year after year to make this happen. I cannot express our gratitude as a city for your efforts. The vision and the work that it took to make this happen was extraordinary. And many people have been mentioned. The Governor, your vision for what this could be and for our city helped change the game. I also want to acknowledge, in addition to the board as a whole, Tom Ritter, who has been a tireless advocate both for UConn and for the city of Hartford. And thank you, Tom. To our great Hartford legislative delegation, and to all of the legislators who saw why this matters, thank you as well. This is a great day for Hartford, it is a great day for UConn, and it's a great day for the state of Connecticut. It's not just that this campus will bring thousands of students to the heart of our capital city every day, adding to the energy and the vitality and the vibrancy of this city, but this beautiful restoration of this historic building, which makes the connection to a active and vibrant restaurant entertainment district down on Front Street, which links it up to this beautiful plaza between our City Hall and our world-class art museum, the Wadsworth Athenaeum, leading down to the magnificent Bushnell Park. All of it in a short walk to two world-class producing stages, to the Coltsville area, bringing back historic manufacturing buildings as residential and commercial centers right in the heart of a new national park. Down the road from Parkville, where we're seeing a growth of organic entrepreneurship and small business and arts. Where Capitol Avenue is coming back across from the magnificent new residential buildings, where the blighted and vacant Hartford Office Supply building, where the Goodwin Hotel, that historic building, has been brought back to life, where the yard goats are selling out every weekend, where train service next year will connect us down to New Haven to New York and up to Springfield. That's what's happening in Hartford. And this right here is the heart of it. And so today is not just a victory for Hartford, but it's a victory for our entire state. Because as speaker after speaker has said today, a strong and vibrant capital city makes for a stronger, more vibrant, more competitive state of Connecticut. That's the vision we all share. And as we face the challenges that we face as a city and as a state, let's face those seeing the progress and the possibilities all around us. Let's recognize that when we talk about investments in the future, we make those investments with the confidence that we can turn this great city into an even greater place that forms the heart of this region and this great state. This is a historic day. Let's make it the beginning of a historic period where we bring our state and our city back to the glory that we all know we can have. So thank you to everybody who made this happen. Go Hartford, go UConn, let's go Connecticut, and God bless you all.
Many thanks. Now please join me in welcoming one of the greatest champions UConn has ever had, the chair of our Board of Trustees, Larry McHugh.
What a fantastic day. First of all, I would really want to thank Susan Herbst for her unbelievable leadership in bringing UConn forward over the past 6 years. Her partnership with this outstanding governor of the state of Connecticut, who has been a truly strong supporter of higher ed. And as I said down in Stanford last week, in my 34 years in volunteer leadership in higher ed, there was no one that has been more committed than Governor Malloy, and that gets it that higher education is the future for everyone in the state of Connecticut. Thank you so much. Also, I want to thank all the members of the House and Senate with us here today for your commitment and strong support of the University of Connecticut over a long period of time. I would be remiss if I didn't thank a couple of people from CRDA that when we first brought this project forward, there was a lot of discussion where it should be and should it be here. Suzanne Hopgood was one of the first people to reach out to me and the board. Andy Bissett, and an unbelievable leader in this community, Michael Freemuth, for the job that he has done has been truly phenomenal, and I appreciate that. This campus is going to be a great source of pride, as it is already. And the optimism that everyone has shown towards the city of Hartford, UConn will be a partner in this to assure that Hartford becomes great again. One of the individuals that really supported this project was Trustee Tom Ritter. It gives me a great honor to introduce Tom, who has been my partner on the board for the last 8+ years and has done an unbelievable amount of leadership for this project and many, many others. He had a vision for this project, he had a vision for Hartford, and he had a vision for the state of Connecticut. My great friend, Tom Ritter.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much, Larry. You're such an inspirational leader for our university and our state, and we look forward to celebrating your great tenure with an appropriate ceremony and naming something appropriate, recognizing your great service. I'm really great. You won't find anybody better than Larry McHugh, trust me. I'm honored to speak here today. It brings so many parts of my life together. I was a Hartford Times boy. Rick Carberry, where's Rick? He was a Hartford Times boy, 35 cents a week, 7 cents. And Don Noel's down there. He's one of our columnists that we brought to everybody's home. And as a legislator, I spent many years trying to convince my colleagues to invest in the rebuilding of our flagship university. Finally, when I was in leadership, we put UConn 2000 in front of my colleagues. However, in order to assure passage, it became clear we had to make 2 changes to get the bill enacted. The first was to move, it was a 10-year bill, to move to the first year moving of North Stamford to downtown Stamford. We had a Republican Senate back then, and Senator Nickerson was a very good negotiator. The second was eliminating the move of the West Hartford campus to downtown Hartford. Originally, this was scheduled for the year 2000. And I'm very happy to see all the faculty out here today because they were minor resistant in our effort. So actually, we brought the community college downtown, so now we're to the G. Fox building. So we have 2 universities downtown instead of 1. And so maybe it worked out for the better. But all is not lost for us as a bright, energetic young mayor of Stamford saw the major impact of the Stamford move. And as a governor and great friend of the city of Hartford, he made sure that this great opportunity would happen for us. These are difficult times, but as a resident of this city, we appreciate so much you're doing to help our capital city. We are proud, Governor, this fall also be dedicating up at UConn the Innovative Partnership in Engineering and Science building, in addition to our McHugh building. We'll also be putting our finishing touches on our long-awaited rec center, which is going to transform our university, a $100 million recreational center right in campus, 3 other athletic facilities, and Governor, we owe to you to also figure out finally how we're going to do Hockey East, which is one of your legacies and something we will start addressing this fall. But part of this vision is not just have a building here, as everybody has said, but to be an integral part of our city's rebirth. Toward that, Governor, thank you very much for Michael Freemuth. He has made the logistics of this move seamless. Originally brought all the constituent groups together as we worked out classroom space, traffic, parking, and security issues. And speaking of security, we spent a long day with Hartford Chief Ravello, our Chief Reinhardt, Michael was there, and Representative Travelers, Library, Wadsworth, the Science Center. And I can tell you, we feel very comfortable with all the feet on the ground will be an extremely safe atmosphere. There's not one thing that has not been thought of in terms of security for the area that UConn will be, where our feet will be on the ground. As mentioned earlier, everybody has high hopes of UConn helping our city's rebirth. Toward that end, we have also implemented Hartford Promise, where all Hartford School graduates receive a $10,000 scholarship, thanks in large part to my friend Andy Bissett and Travelers back here. $11,000 if you graduate from Noah Webster. Any Noah Webster kids? All right. We're also very forceful, our trustees were, in having community and trustee involvement in the search for, I was going to say new dean, but it's our new director, I was learned. We need to thank trustee Andrea Dennis Levine, who grew up right around the corner here, Library Chair Greg Davis, and Council President Julio Concepcion for their hard work on the committee. The charge of the committee was to find, obviously, candidates who can run the campus, but also they who share our vision of what this branch should mean to our city. You did very well, and we are excited to work with our new dean, Mark Overmeyer Velasquez, or our new director, I apologize. We wish you well, and we pledge to you our resources of the Board of Trustees to make sure you have what you need to work with our city as we rebuild it. Good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Last but not least, please welcome our brand new director of the Hartford campus, Mark Overmeyer Velasquez.
Good morning. Muy buenos días. How's everyone doing? Welcome, welcome all. President Herbst, Governor Malloy, honored guests, good morning to all. Welcome to UConn Hartford, and welcome to this beautiful campus. Thank you for joining us on this historic day to celebrate the beginning of exciting new educational opportunities for our students, our teachers, and the entire Hartford community. Of course, buildings are built by and for people. From the visionaries, the architects, the funders, to the builders themselves, this has been a long, collaborative effort by many. So I want to give, in my very brief time here, a special shout out to some people who have made the transition possible because of their intense dedication and commitment. So please join me in thanking Dean Nina Heller, Vice Provost Amy Donahue, who's back there, doesn't want to be recognized. There she is. And on my team, we have Nadine Brennan, Katie Martin, Stephen Marchillo, Bill Pecor, Michael Hauser, Josh Forrest, Kim Schwartz, Colleen Brochu, and their amazing staff. So UConn's return to Hartford brings together the university's commitment to excellence in scholarship and teaching with a focus on collaborating with the communities in which we work and live. I again welcome you to UConn Hartford's engaged neighborhood campus to learn with us in an academic community rich with resources and possibilities. Welcome.
In just a minute, we'll cut the ribbon. Once that's done, I'd like to invite you to join us inside this beautiful atrium to see our new building. We have refreshments and we have UConn ice cream. So aren't you glad you hung around? You can enter the building through the Front Street entrance that's just around the corner to my right, or through the entrance on the gates on the opposite corner to my left. Now I'd like to ask those of you on the platform party to come forward to grab a piece of ribbon if you can, and we'll make this official. Thank you, everybody.